always be on TikTok like 24/7. I'm like, what is this app? What's going on? I'm talking about like video after video, and then like eventually I always got like, man, you should be like an influencer or you should do something with fashion because I always like kind of known for like dressing up, and then the shoes always been like a thing. In my head, I was like, that's not me because I'm very introverted. I'm very private. I try to keep everything just like in house because sometimes your business is not meant for everybody. So, and then I kind of like started, and I posted a video. I think like this time last year, give or take, like when I was living in Nashville. And it was the most terrible video I've ever posted in my life. Like no editing. Like it was just horrible. And then I didn't post for a long time because I was kind of like on Instagram, but had a private page, private this, and I just kind of like wanted to keep everything private. But then I kind of was like caught on to like trying to figure stuff out, kind of trial and error. And then like something like caught traction. I was like, oh, like people actually like want to see fashion, like men's fashion, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I started my platform around men's fashion and sneakers. But I had a coworker that was like, hey, like you should really centralize like your aesthetic or like your lifestyle. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like this is regular for me.
So you like venture out and you try to learn that. And you find your niche, right?
Yeah, you find your niche because like the fashion was there, but there's so many people that do fashion. It's really heavy, so it's kind of like, how do I break into that? How do I make something different?
How do I make different, unique?
Yeah, like
you're an artist, you know what I mean. So it's like, how do you leave your mark?
Well,
right.
So
I think going back to what you were saying about putting your stuff out there. I mean, let's say like an individual that was new coming, a couple of years ago, Tom Holland. He was like, I want to be famous. I want to be able to be in the movies, but I want my private life. I want to have that. You think that's like what you want? It's like you don't want too much information out there, so you have a private life outside of this.
Yeah, I think like for me, like I had like some toys, like my daughter's toys, and that was like one thing I was kind of like, but it's just slipped my mind because I'm just going through a natural flow, and people start kind of finding like I had a kid. Like it's not, no one's ever seen my daughter. She's 2, but that would be something that I would have to kind of like either make that option to either A, do it or B, not do it. And I think it's just kind of hard though. Like I'm not on that huge scope or scale, but I mean, I went to the mall here like in Dallas and like literally had people like flag me down. I'm like, why are these random people waving? But they recognized like the heart in the back of my head, and they was like, oh my God, can we get a picture? And in my head, I'm just like, this is not real life because I'm not freaking Will Smith or Chris Brown. I'm no one special. I'm just a regular guy. But then it's like when I knew something was like really catching on. I know there's an algorithm there as well, but
it's all about the area you're in.
Yeah.
So say you were coming here to Austin, close to where I'm at, and start posting. I kid you not, in a week, the algorithm would post to everybody else. Because I can go watch one video about some food down the road from me. Next thing you know, my whole feed's Austin.
Yeah, it's just crazy. I'm sure there's someone's like listening in and like doing whatever else as well.
I mean, it's already been proven. Like,
it's already been proven that.
So Chinese like spy balloons flying over. You know what I mean? Like,
it's just kind of like, and I can say like Xbox. I remember saying like Xbox, and all of a sudden my feed's all Xbox. Like I'm just like
about some, and then you get on Facebook, and then it's popping up all that stuff on Facebook.
Yeah,
you can talk to your friends about something and starts popping up on your phone.
Yeah, like there was this weird. I mean, yesterday at work, we were literally like talking about this one guy that trains like on YouTube or whatever, and like literally as soon as he hit the W on YouTube, his whole page like popped up that we were talking about. I was like, it's kind of creepy, beneficial at points, but it's still kind of like a little creepy. But
I got you.
It is what it is.
Yes, but anyways, hey guys, what's up? It's us back again. Not So Interesting podcast with your host Nick and
Draiden,
and our special guest today. Go ahead and introduce yourself, man.
Matias Gupton is the full name. Hashtag or handles the Mr. GQ, whatever.
Yeah, go check him out on TikTok. Of course, we're gonna have him down below. We're so happy to have you on, man. I've been watching you for a minute, and you're an up and coming, artist out of Dallas, Texas, correct?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
And I honestly fell in love with your content. Is more simple, it's perplexed, and it shows that like smaller people could make it. Smaller people could start doing that.
Exactly. Yeah. Trying to keep everything super organic for the most part.
Yeah, and so let's go into your filters. Like, is that something like you had to teach yourself on your videos,
Hmm.
or was it something like simple as you already knew it?
So for me, like when everything is just trial and tribulation, and the more you have repetition behind something, it eventually becomes like perfection. So for me, it's just kind of like playing with stuff, researching, getting on YouTube, following other people that might have whatever. Maybe just pictures like, hey man, like how do you get your videos look the way they look? You'll be surprised. A lot of people aren't really willing to help with that.
Yeah,
So it just took more initiative and just having more research on my own, and then kind of like basically shooting, seeing how it looks, like adjusting like filters and exposure and brightness, and seeing what
yeah,
works the best. It took quite a bit because a lot of my videos from my recent plays, like man, like the quality on them was like it looks super good, but if I like tried to like edit them, upload them, I would lose a lot of quality. I just
yeah.
couldn't figure it out until I did the research. So it's just a lot of trial and tribulations and seeing what I like to look at as well.
Now, are you an iPhone user or Android?
I am an iPhone user. I did just get this ginormous camera with a lens and everything that I've been waiting on to like shoot YouTube content. So I'll
Right.
be doing some light stuff with the phone still, like this, like quick and easy if I'm going to a grocery store or whatever.
Hmm.
Because this is too much to pop out this whole camera and
Pop out, take it
tripod.
around with you.
Yeah,
Look
it's
crazy
just
just
too,
going around to
yeah.
like a Walmart.
Exactly, and I like Walmart's kind of skeptical about people like
Yeah.
Yeah,
recording
they don't
like
like. They're like, no pranks, no pranks.
yeah, like no
Yeah,
friend.
they
I'm like, bro,
instantly,
I'm
hey,
just
just go, just turn back around, just go home.
yeah. So I
I'm just
don't.
trying to make sure no one licks the ice cream, man. Like, leave me alone.
That's really it. Like I'm trying to make sure your ice cream's safe. So got this nice fancy camera that I'm gonna pop out, and it's gonna take some work with that because I don't know nothing about cameras, like
Yeah.
know the iPhone side. But this over here, I've had this camera for since December. I was just sitting
Okay.
here because I was like, so it's just a matter of taking that
Yeah.
initiative. And,
Now, do you want to like tell people like simple apps that you are using for your editing,
yeah.
or you want to
Um.
keep that secret for them to find out?
No, I'm fully transparent. So for me, like CapCut is really good. It's a very like number one. I don't like CapCut because I feel like it has too much going on. I like
Hmm.
more simple stuff. Like I'm not doing like jumping in the air doing weird transitions and stuff. I think over time when I want to do transitions, but I feel like a lot of people do transitions,
Yeah.
really clean ones, and it takes a lot of time to do it. But I want mine to be like more simple, just kind of grab your attention because I don't want to rely on transitions for attention. So to
Yeah.
actually be able to bring in an audience, CapCut's an option. There's another one that's like called like VN Editor. If you just type it on the App Store, so that's the one I mostly use. Now,
Yeah.
when I get into using the camera, I'm gonna have to buy additional Mac to support it, and then I'll probably just be using like Adobe or whatever like they
Yeah.
have for like that, which would be a little more expensive. I've been on the free side for the most part, trying to be.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Well, I know as I love iPhone, I love Apple. There's some stuff on like Microsoft that has some good niches.
of
I
course.
still use InShot, and then I use
Okay.
iMovie. So I go
Yeah.
back and forth between the two. So I understand when it comes to using free until you build up, and that's
Yeah.
what we're doing here. We're trying to just wait and build it up a little bit more before we invest more.
Yeah, and I think when stuff started to kind of make sense, start getting traction, I was like, I'm gonna have to apply a little money into this, even though I'm
Yeah,
not getting no ROI on it. I was like, okay, I can kind of take the money and kind of do it like little by little instead of kind of like going all in.
It's exactly what we're trying to do. Just build it up, go with the flow. Ride it out. If we get more, we can get a little bit more. But until then,
Hmm.
we're not going to push ourselves too far. You know what I mean?
yeah. Right now, this is
Yeah,
for us to be friends, and buddies. Introduce a lot more people like you.
yeah,
Even though we're small, it still draws good traction on different platforms. You
This
yeah,
is
know,
like Control to Omegle.
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Like legit, like for real. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's
So
like to just help out others as it is also building us. So even though we're not paying anybody to come on, we're just
mhm.
asking to see if they're willing to take, 30 minutes, an hour time,
Yeah,
It's
out of the
definitely
day.
motivating too, because we talk to people like you, for instance. I've seen a couple of your videos, and your videos are really like your day to day goals. You're sitting there and you're taking your time out of your day to, make sure everything's nice and neat around you.
hmm,
You're kind of putting a vibe in your house. You're making sure that you feel kind of good. You're like, you seem really paced throughout the day. You
yeah,
know what I mean? Like it's definitely motivating to see. And we have people like you come on. The last guy we had on, he was a coach. He likes to coach kids. He likes to make sure
hmm,
kids feel like they're more than what they think they are. And then
yeah,
shows them that
It's like an
hard work
open
pays
door.
off, and consistency.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like a lot of your videos are about being consistent and
Yeah.
focusing on doing the task over and over and over
Hmm.
again. You know what I mean?
Yeah. For sure.
So
Like you have to make it consistency to bring back any motivation that you may be lacking, and also to kind of hold you accountable. And I'm a huge procrastinator, so for me coming in, having to like my place is a mess from this like morning like yesterday because I have to work, but me coming in knowing that like my place is spot clean and it's like there like
Yeah.
it's
makes you
easier.
it makes you, it's kind of like the same concept like they say like when you look like whatever clothes you put on like you look better, you feel better. It's a different vibe when you walk into your place and you don't have like 8 pounds of dishes just sitting there, trash,
Yeah.
like fruit flies flying around. It's a different vibe when you come in and everything's like pristine,
It's
like
like
it's always
your
like show
checkbox
ready.
is easier. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And if you get
yeah,
in, it's like, all right, I ain't gotta do that. All I gotta do now is just take a shower, and then I'm clean for the rest of the day. If I need to, I can go
yeah,
to the
Mhm.
gym later or something. You know what I mean? I can do
right.
like the easier things, you know, and
You
then
can
it
open up your
makes the
time.
yes, it
Exactly.
definitely like
Hmm.
whenever you feel like you have more time, you definitely feel like you can get more things accomplished too.
Yeah, I
So
think that's super important. Like that's just one less thing I have to worry about, you know. So
Yeah. Now, for you being a content creator and all that, I know you said you have a kid as well. I don't know that situation. We can
mhm.
talk about that later.
Yeah, yeah,
How do
for
how
sure.
do you how do you go into it? Was it hard for you to start being like this consistent? You know, post, show this, keep clean. You go to work. Like I know a lot of people struggle with that time management. Is it
Yeah,
just easier as it goes? Like you want to tell like people out there?
I think for me, like I said, it just goes back to having the consistency. At first, like once again, going back like in my apartment complex, like I had a guy pull up on me. Me being kind of skeptical, I'm like reaching for my gun. I'm like, I just moved in here. I don't know what's
Yeah.
going on. And the guy was like, "Hey, you did this from TikTok." I'm like, "What?" Like, and then he was like, "Man, I love your content." I was like, "Well, you have any feedback?" He was like, "Man, just be more consistent. Like, I've spread your page out, but people haven't seen any content because I might post and then like 4 weeks later post something else. So it's kind of like
Yeah.
you can see there's like a trend there. So creating content end up in turn helping me basically keep my place clean because it's just kind of like the content that I'm making is kind of like a day to day, and it's easier content to make because it's like natural. It's not forced. It's not
Yeah.
planned. It's like I come in. Now, of course, there's a little bit stay because I have to set up a camera, of course, but like the
Yeah. You gotta
cleaning
take your
is
time.
actually, yeah, like the cleaning actually is like true cleaning that I'm doing. But I think when I got into the habit of doing it, I would come here and like, because there's a lot of stuff that I clean and I don't record at all. Um,
Yeah.
like the day to day. So now it's just I come in, I'm just like, crap, I gotta do this. I see this spot here. And I think over time it's kind of helped me just
It
make it
becomes
like
that
second
habit.
nature.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like it's just a habit. And I used to keep my place very minimal. And then I
Mhm.
kind of had to like, put this here, have this. I don't like the clutter for the most part, but I still want some type of vibe or presence. If I were to
Yeah.
have guests, like it's just not like,
in that feng shui.
yeah, like does
Yeah.
someone
The
live here? Because
flow.
yeah, like it's a good flow, and I think like me cleaning my place is like the first step, and then we're having the content to follow that because my content is more so simple, everyday. Like
Yeah.
everyone, I'm
Yours,
not saying
I've
everyone
noticed it's
should be
like
doing
very
this.
modern.
Yeah, like I'm not
Simple
doing.
lifestyle.
Yeah, it's like a normal lifestyle. I'm not saying that every male or female should have this lifestyle, but
Yeah.
even if I also want to make sure that people understand, like you don't have to make a certain dollar amount to keep your place clean or to do whatever. I think
Yeah.
everyone puts stuff like I got to make this much money to live like this. Like you can still live the lifestyle that I live, staying in a way cheaper apartment or whatever the case may be. But I think it's just the society mindset around like what's reality and what's like not reality. It's just so rigid there.
I
So
really, I
Definitely
really
like
like
that.
hearing that for sure.
Yeah, because like I think that this whole entire TikTok thing, you know what I mean? Like you're getting
mhm,
instant gratification, right? And
right,
you're going day to day, and it's like you're not getting it that day or the next day. You may have to work a year for it, and you sat there and you worked for it, and
hmm
you're a very humble person because you're not even talking about how you put in all the work for it
Hmm.
and things like that. You're just talking about
right,
how you just consistently go through the day and make sure you do what
hmm
you need to do, and you're
yeah,
being very humble about it. And I think that's something that people should have is humility, and that comes in from not giving yourself gratification, in the instant. You should work for it.
yeah,
When you're rewarded for it, you're a lot more happy. You seem a lot more calm, and when you're calm, you're happy. You know what I mean? You're
yeah,
a lot
yeah.
more,
Yeah.
not reliant on other
It makes things
things.
go easier.
It's just establishing my peace, right? I think a lot of people, if we even get, that's a whole other conversation, but I think a lot of people end up getting in relationships depending on another person to create peace for them or happiness.
It
But
doesn't
if
work.
if that person B and A are not happy individually, like they're not going to be like you can't depend on one person. So I try to make sure that my place is as peaceful as possible.
Yeah,
I could come home, set the music on,
it's
kind of just move
welcoming.
around.
It's
Yeah,
there.
like it's you know what I'm saying. It's not a house, of course, but one day I definitely will have a house. But just
Man,
It's one
my
step at a
peace.
time.
I
Right?
see
Yeah.
someone else like that, man. You ever seen the Netflix show You?
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
Man, isn't that crazy? They make normal people seem like psychopaths.
Yeah, like just yeah, it's just
Well, I mean, because normal is weird, but normal is also good. So
yeah.
just
We're
depends on
almost
who it
SpongeBob. We're just
is.
not rounded, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like so I just try to make sure that my piece is I go on a day to day that I only have five things I can worry about that can fit in my hand. Anything that outside of that, six, seven, eight, nine, I don't worry about it. So if my
Yeah.
hand's full, like I'm content. I know I can control that, but anything outside of that can't control it. So
Man, you got a lot of wisdom. If you don't mind me
I
asking,
like
how old
that.
are you?
so I'm 33.
Okay.
Everyone
I'm
Okay.
thinks everyone thinks
28.
I'm 24.
Like,
Yeah, I
Like
thought you were like 27 something.
like at
yeah,
28, just
Hey, you
because,
have good
like,
genetics. That's good
like,
though,
yeah,
right?
you definitely
yeah,
you look young. You know what I mean? You definitely like
yeah,
did not think 30s. Did not. I
yeah.
told him 28. I was like, I was going for 28.
I get it all the time. Even when I was on live, I was telling people I was like 43, and they like was falling for. I was okay. Stop. I'm not really 43, but I'm actually 33. But I just have a good scope of how I
Yeah,
look. I
everything.
think, and it presents a more younger whatever. So
you
It's just how you
definitely
hold yourself with
you
it.
definitely got a lot of wisdom
right,
behind it too. It's like you're being young but being wise. It's
right,
definitely a great attribute to have.
Did you get
yeah.
this like from growing up? Like, if you want to bog into that, like growing up, was it like easy? Was it hard? Were you taught good by your parents like this, or did you just learn it?
I think for me, I try to be around wiser people as much as
Okay.
possible. That's the only way I feel like you can actually really grow. And I think just kind of like listening to podcasts like such as this, like you end up coming across people such as myself, and like someone else can like maybe mimic that, start doing research, or maybe like
Start
listening
learning.
to books, start learning. I mean, I grew up in a really well-rounded household between mom and dad. I think a lot of stuff kind of shifted when I had like a family. Like my mom passed away, and I think that kind of cultivated me to kind of like turn a knob a little bit. Still had a lot of childish behavior, but now when it comes to like a deep thought, like conversation, I can have that like through and through. And I think I say a lot of stuff
That's
that's
good.
very transparent and black and white that people don't want to hear. So I'm probably the last person you want to ask feedback from because I'm not. I think what a lot of people like the reason why they ask so many different people is because they're waiting on that right answer that they already created in their mind. So
Yeah.
like if this dress is ugly, I'm gonna tell you like this dress is ugly, but they're gonna go ask someone else if they hear that the dress is pretty because that's what they want to hear.
Yeah.
I don't think that doesn't benefit
You're
myself or
transparent.
yeah,
Like you're straight to the point. You tell
yeah,
them exactly how it is and how you
yeah,
feel because no matter what, everybody else is gonna have their own opinion on something.
right. Like if people's asking for a bunch of feedback, you already have in your mindset what you want to hear, how you want to hear it. It's just going to keep like filtering out. And I will want someone if I ask them something like, "Hey, how am I doing this?" I don't want you to be like, "Man, you're killing it," but I'm really sucking because I want to be able to grow and develop every day. I want to try to be a
Yeah.
sponge as much as possible every day. So
Well, the only really support I'm giving you right now, I will say, is just like I've seen you. I've followed you for a while. I've
hmm
seen your content grow. Of course, I watch a lot of other people too, and
hmm
I've seen them, their niches. They're posting longer or something like that. There's always
hmm
something. I do want to appreciate you for what you have done so far. I know it's hard
I
work. I know
appreciate it.
everything outside of that camera. I know you put in the work, and sometimes you might struggle. There might be something else that like just gets in your way, and we don't
hmm
see that. We don't see
Yeah,
that, and that's where we
yeah,
can't speak on it because no one
yeah.
knows what a content creator does outside.
I don't.
I could be your best friend, and you don't tell me all the information.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know what happens behind
Right,
closed
exactly.
doors.
Yeah.
So you just never know. You have to, I guess what I'm saying is appreciate what you're able to see,
hmm
but also give feedback if it's asked, and just take it either one with help or grain of
Mhm.
salt?
Yeah,
The
I'm.
Japanese say you got 5 faces. You got the ones you show your friends, the ones you show your family, the one you show yourself, the one you show the one you love, and then the one you show something. I forgot what the last one was. The one you don't show anybody, I think is what it is.
Yeah,
The one,
yeah,
which is like your, your inner demon. You know what I mean? So like,
yeah.
it's very like, I lived in Japan for a year, so like, I got to learn a lot about their culture and things like that.
Mhm.
And it's definitely, that was one of the most interesting things I learned over there. It was definitely really cool.
Yeah, I mean it's a lot, man. Like I work 15-hour shifts sometime. I come home, I have to edit content, make content, post
Yeah,
content, then
and
go
get
to the
sleep.
gym. Well, we haven't got to sleep. I got to still go to the gym and
Yeah.
crush at least an hour and a half in the gym. Then I got to come home and cook food or meal prep or whatever, shower and get in bed. So by that time, I'm only getting 4 to 6 hours. But I get so much gratification from I will say now like the female audience, but more so the male audience because I'm able to
Uh-huh.
I've got people like out of depression, like people that have anxiety. I even have some of my coworkers that stress out a lot. He literally was like, I watch his videos and it actually calms me. That brings more
It's
fuel to the
Ambition.
fire. Yeah, it's just kind of like because I'm making it like attainable. Like I'm not doing anything with like I guess like designer bags and like designer clothes. Like I'm just a regular dude. I use paper plates. You know what I'm saying? Like for my food.
Hey,
Like
no hate on
most
that, bro.
like
I hate doing dishes.
I hate doing dishes. Now I have some, but like you
Dishwashers are
will see me
great.
bust out. They are great. They're
I grew up
also
that
a
one.
pain.
So like I have one
So
now, and I'm just like in head. I've never had one for 22 years, and I get one.
yeah.
It's great.
It's like
Amazing.
paper plates
Yeah.
are also better though. Like that, you can't beat trashing it
No.
right
Paper
after.
plates and plastic
No, I'll
silverware,
be done
man.
with
Hey,
it.
my plastic silverware is actually silver, so it's silver plastic. All right, you know what I
Oh,
mean. So
see,
Yeah.
it's very fancy.
I go to Costco and buy the economy size 500.
Just the 500, whatever.
Yeah, I
Make it
just buy
last
like
for
the
a
big.
long
Yeah, I buy
time.
the biggest one possible and just
I go buy the
lift
big
it.
old jugs
When
of
my
like
friends come
mustard
around, I got the
ketchup.
fancy silverware for you.
Yeah, he's like, yeah. I'm just like, you know, what I'm saying, like, hey, look,
I got
I
salt
got
and
some.
pepper packets for everybody.
Hey,
Just
here you
grab
go,
one.
pass
Just
them
grab
out.
one.
Yeah.
Trying to rationalize these.
But hey,
You want
let's
sugar? We
get
don't have that in this house. All right.
yeah. But let's get to this. So let's talk about fashion, man. I know you're like
Mhm.
your shoe game is crazy, man.
Appreciate
Crazy.
it.
Who influenced you on that? Like who influences you on your shoe choices and where do you go?
One of my first, well, of course, like Jordan was kind of like the staple, especially like in the black community. Jordans was just like you
Yeah.
had some Jordans. It was like you was that person. In my freshman year, I bought LeBron's first Nike shoe. I think that kind of like really turned me on to it. I didn't have the finances to back it up, but I always had a passion like for having the shoes. My mom and dad made sure that I still had what I want, even if that meant like shorting them out on something. They still made sure. So
Yeah.
once I started like getting money, I used to work at Nike. That's what really like hit the switch. I was already collecting before
Yeah, them
Nike.
discounts and everything, right?
Yeah, but then when I
Hell
hit
yeah.
Nike and I had so much access to like stuff, it was just kind of like the shoes that are like reselling for like $2,000 now. Like I used to get them for like $60, like
Yeah.
$70.
Retail.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I got them below retail, like 50% below retail.
Yeah.
But see, I was
Don't you get a free
always
pair on your
such a fan.
birthday?
We they have these things called Nike giveaways where they give you like this tombstone size box and you go to the distribution center and you have like 4 hours to fill up 2 or 3 boxes of like brand new clothes and
Bro.
On your
stuff.
birthday?
No, like you get like once a year. It's like a
Once a
year
year?
thing.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
Like
And this is like the
what?
corporate
What
warehouse
did
ones,
you
right?
get? Like
Yeah.
do you remember one like off the top of your head? Like your favorite time going to do that?
Man, I went to like 4 of them. Like really, I had 4 opportunities. I think I went to like 7 of them. So I mean, I've gotten like Columbia 11s like dead stock. I've gotten Space Jams dead stock. I've gotten
Bro.
like off-white stuff. I've gotten off-white stuff dead stock, like jerseys, like anything that you can think of. Just imagine walking to a Walmart full of like
Yeah.
half like full like kind of like Shuttles Gaylords or whatever, and it's like.
Yeah.
This is all size 11. This is all size 11. And just imagine that in like a Walmart. And you just walk in, you just put everything. So
A
I was
kid in a
grabbing,
candy shop, man.
like for real. Like, so I mean, clothes, shoulder pads, equipment, whatever. Like they had everything because it was in the
Everything.
warehouse and it was going to end up probably getting like shredded or torn anyway
Yeah.
because it's just
See.
overproduction. So
Gotcha.
That sounds great.
That's
That
nice.
sounds great.
Yeah, so that kind of like turned me on to different types of shoes. I've always had that niche for shoes, but like the money resources. Then when I started making some actual money, it was like, okay, like I can spend 300, 400 on this one pair, or I can go back and buy this that I missed like 4 years ago. And it's kind of like where it started
Gotcha.
for the most part.
Are
It's
you
just
into basketball too?
like actual playing basketball or just like
Like
basketball, like basketball shoes.
like watching basketball, playing basketball, like.
I'm way too big to be playing basketball for one. I can't shoot. I can rebound and pass the ball. That'd be about it.
You ever heard of Charles Barkley?
Yeah, I'm probably way too Charles Barkley.
That man was eating donuts on the side. What are you talking about?
Come on, we got a Shaq too, bro. 3-pointers, okay?
I know, but like, have you seen a donut in Shaq's hand?
Yeah, it's
No,
like
it's fucking
It was like,
miniature.
yeah.
I mean, I don't have any way to compare it. Like, you got like a
Looks like
washer.
donut
I need a
hole.
washer.
Huh?
Like-
It looks like a donut hole. Yeah, like that.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Like I shook his hand one time. It was like his hand was like at my elbow. I'm like, what are we doing here?
Oh,
It's just-
Lord.
It's just I
It's
like,
like, ugh.
I had that real like feminine handshake where I like cupped it.
Oh my
So,
god! You ever heard
So-
that joke? I think it was like by Kevin Hart or something. He's like, Shaq was in the shower, and I went to go see how big it was. And
Yeah.
he's like, well, Shaq's security guard met me at the front, and he told me to get the hell out of there.
Yeah,
So I got
remember
back, and Shaq comes in, and I'm like, Shaq, you know, your security guard, me, bro, I was trying to get a shower earlier, man. He wouldn't let me in. He said, I don't have a security guard.
that. Wait, what? You don't understand that?
Yeah, he was like, everybody stopped. Everybody was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, it just makes like super
Adam
duper
Sandler, fucking, he gets on the Jimmy Fallon show. He's like, so like, I want to know how big Shaq's dick was.
That's like the number one question, but it's been like a lot of women. It's been like, it's not what you think it is. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You
Like,
gotta understand, like, this is a large man. Even though it's large, it's not going to seem as large as you think it's going to.
because he's already so big. It's just kind of like,
yeah.
like
Right.
6'10". I'm 6'2".
It's going to be normal on him.
It's
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean? Like, already, like, you don't think 6'10" is this much higher than me, but it is. And then
Yeah,
when he's
it's a
300
lot.
pounds. I mean, it is
Wow.
like, it's like a hippopotamus to a fucking lion. Like,
Yeah,
there's a huge difference.
it's just ridiculous.
All right, so now we know Draiden likes dicks, Shaq's dick for sure. Matthias, what is your go-to shoe, and what is
Either
the
one
most
takes you.
expensive shoe you have?
I think I have the all of Kanye West's collection of one here from Nike. So I have all 6 pairs of those.
Okay.
Those are probably my most expensive, considering those are going for like $20K and whatever. I do have some exclusive fragments that are friends and family only that are like very limited. I think those pair are going for like $12K. I've only worn them like once.
Yeah.
I feel like it just depends like what I'm doing with the shoe, right? Is it like an everyday? If it's like an everyday, I'm
Yeah, what's
quick to
what's an everyday day like Nike you go on?
He said he's gay.
I think I look for comfortability. So like the Vomero 5, something like very comfortable, like Nike wise, like this something like the gray ones I posted, like recently, like on my Instagram.
Yeah.
I have like the brown ones, stuff like that. It's like super comfortable, casual. Like the New Balance that's coming out now with the protection pack. Those are just super.
Dude, they're comfortable, bro.
Like
They're so
super
comfortable.
super dash shoe, super comfortable. Still has a little twist of fashion on it. So
Oh yeah, definitely.
it's like an
definitely
everyday
do.
vibe for sure.
Man,
Like,
Did
when I
you
was in
ever
high
see
school-
the Fear of God moccasins that came out in like 2017, 2018?
I didn't see those. I know they just dropped some more Fear of God Birkenstock like sandals. They're like
Okay.
500. Yeah, I've seen those. I wish they had like the Velcro strap on
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I'd just rather like just like a regular just like slide in. But I've seen some of that stuff.
Gotcha.
Honestly,
Alright.
back in high school, I bought some retros, and they were worth like $120, and they were my everyday shoes. You know, I was stupid. I didn't understand, and I got them back, and I was looking at them, and I was like, man, I really ruined these shoes. You know what I mean? I looked up how much they were worth. I saw the box and everything they came in, and I put them in there and had them in there when I was in the military. They're worth like $350 right now.
Yeah.
And I was like, $120 just got wasted for nothing. I was like, shoe collecting is definitely something to get into because you can earn some money quick and you can really flip shoes really easy.
Yeah,
But you definitely, you got to know what the hell you're actually getting into,
Yeah,
and like
dude.
know your shoes. Because if you don't know your shoes, you don't know anything about it. You're not even gonna know. It's like
that's the problem.
why buy 'em?
Yeah,
Dude,
right.
it was 2019, and the Off-White collab with the Jordans, and I got the UNC whites, the dunks, the
Nice.
high tops.
Yeah.
And so I got them as soon as they released. I was like on there, like, hey, release. I got so lucky. First try, refresh and pays, got them. I think maybe at the time when they dropped, it was like $530, right? And then they skyrocketed way up to like $3,000.
Yeah.
No one would buy them because they were still so fresh.
Yeah.
So it's very hard to market new release shoes because we don't know the value of them.
Yeah.
So then
Unless
I
it's
took a
super sought
loss.
after. Yeah.
I took a loss on them, man. $750. I sold them for $750. I took a huge loss. Week later, $350, $3,500, $3,500, man.
That's how it works. I think like if it's like stuff that's been released a long time ago, like the lobsters came out. It's like some old stuff and like that stuff was very limited back then because they had so much hype on it because it's a dunk. Like people just gonna like
Well, like the
gravitate
cherries
to
have
it.
came back. They've
Yeah.
come back, and it's like I think we have too many of them that look the same.
Yeah.
So why release the cherries again?
Yeah. I mean, if you put out whatever colorway, like the pandas have come out 85 times. People still
Bro,
buy
80, if not more, man.
Like every time, hey, release some pandas. I'm like, how many times are we gonna? But people want that shoe so bad. I don't know why. So many other silhouettes. I mean, I get the black and white, but if I go to the mall and I see like 50 pandas, I'm like, what are y'all doing? Like,
Yeah. Like why y'all
crazy.
buying this much? Ain't nobody gonna buy all
You know
that.
what you're gonna see me in the mall with? Some Crocs on.
Like I'll put some Birkenstocks, some Birkenstocks on in a heartbeat. And
I'll put some slides on. I don't care, man.
I was a
some
huge
Crocs.
slide person. Yeah.
I just got into it,
Jeans.
so I got some gray, the foams. So I got some of those, and they're comfy, but they're my first pair. But I also like wearing shoes, bro.
Yeah. I'll be so lazy. I mean, I wear boots. I wear like military boots during like the week for the most part. So
are those the Nike ones that you have?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
but after wearing boots for a living, I gotta say I don't even want to even own a pair of boots. I want to live in Florida on the beach where I don't have to even wear shoes. I can just walk outside.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. That's fair. I was never in the military, so I just
I know you talk about wearing them, man. You gave me some PTSD. I was like, damn. I looked down my feet and I was like, this one's fine fucked up now.
I like them.
Well, brother, we're going to go off this segment. We call it Off the Top. It's a segment we do where we ask you a couple questions. You have 3 to 5 seconds to answer them off the top of your head.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know them. It's fine. We'll let the comments down below answer them. We won't even tell you. We told the guy last time, but I think this time we just have to leave it for the people to know.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, Draiden, you can go ahead and start with your questions for him.
All right. What year was Adidas made?
Oh, Jesus. It had to be like oh my God. What the hell? I don't know. God damn it. I'm not a fan of Adidas, so I don't know.
You're not a fan of Adidas? Man. All right. So we're not going to answer you if you're right or wrong, by the way. We're going to let the audience
just let it go.
Either roast you or, be like, hell yeah,
Hell yeah.
Second one is, who did Kobe shoot 81 against?
Ooh.
And it was viral. It went out there.
I
it was
know.
everywhere.
That's the this is gonna sound bad. I'm not a big Kobe fan.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Pass on that one. I'm gonna get roasted.
Pass.
I'm gonna get roasted.
All right. Now you say you like Michael Jordans, all right? You say you like some Jordans, so let's get on here with some Jordans then. All right. What is Jordan's most expensive shoe right now?
It have to be
2023.
Most expensive that just released. It had to be anything that's like a Jordan 1 silhouette.
Anything. But as a 2023 charts, like what's the most expensive?
I would probably say the Lost and Founds. I would have to.
You locking that one in?
I'm gonna lock in Lost and Found. I'm gonna probably miss the one, but I'm gonna probably say Lost and Found.
Okay. So here's mine for you. What year did the first Nike Dunk come out?
What else coming? I just knew something around the dunks was coming. It's too much around them. They had to be like, I know they had 03s, they had 01s. I want to say like 2000, like 99, 2000. It could be early. I'm gonna say 99 or 2000.
Man, you worked at Nike, right?
Come on now.
Nike, bro. They fired you.
I was this unit.
All right, so 95 is your answer.
I was gonna say like 99 or 2000.
All right, comment that below, guys.
Me and Big Roast. I can feel it.
Big Roast right there. Jump on him, guys. No, be nice. Please be nice. All right, here's another one. What was the first Nike shoes used for?
It was like track and field, like track.
You sure about that?
Well, hey, Draiden, you can't be making me want to go.
You can't be second guessing, okay?
That's what it was all about. It was just like because their first extreme shoe was built around Michael Jordan, but they had the waffle pattern, which is like really like a lifestyle shoe, but
okay?
Like track.
So I'll go ahead and give you that one, right? So you did get that one right. Okay, I will give you that one. And the bonus answer, it was what was the shoe's nickname? You said it was the waffle, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what was the other nickname, the original one they gave for that shoe, for the waffle shoe?
God damn it. What the hell was this shoe called? It wasn't a Pegasus. Someone wasn't out there. God, what's the name of that shoe? I got the shoes over there, I think.
I can't give you the bonus answer.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Go ahead and flame me up.
Go ahead, flame that one. All right, guys. If you know it, comment. Now, my last one. You better know this, man. You love fashion. I see what you like. What was Virgil Abloh known for? His clothing.
I mean, as far as we speaking like Off-White, we're talking about collaboration with like Louis Vuitton, or we're talking about like his abstract like style,
just like everything that you just named. Like
I would probably say for the masses like Off-White, even though he was already big in Louis Vuitton, but I think that had like a certain type of money to get that. But the Off-White kind of put him on. I would say that put him on the map officially.
Okay, and what is something known about him that public appreciate of Virgil?
I want to say I'm really big like organic and like kind of like this off the wall kind of concept of thoughts and like living like even like that Rolls Royce car that he created that was like a prototype, like very off the wall, very just like fluid, not really caring for the perspective from the others, like what he kind of created. It was just kind of like what he saw, what he envisioned.
His vision, right?
Yeah.
And letting known to other artists that they can have a say. Their vision was worth it.
Yeah, it can definitely be respected. Yeah.
I got a question for you, man. If there's one message you can give the world, what would it be?
I will say live. We're gonna go back to the organic. I'll say live on an organic lifestyle, and that's gonna filter out to so much. I think living an organic lifestyle will show like who you are, your true self, and then over time you'll learn to like just be yourself at all times versus trying to conform to everyone forms to society for the most part, and that's the problem. You just have to live within what you want to live in. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Definitely,
well, that's it for the off the top segment. We're getting close to being done. Do you have anything that you need to say for creators, even though there's a lot of people that say stuff? What is unique to you that you can give out to anybody coming up from a struggle, content, anything? Just what do you have for the people, man?
I think just for the most part, just stay focused and stay like intentional. I think your time is very intentional. We don't get that time back. And I think if you stay intentional with your time, everything else will kind of like fall in place. And being intentional could be, being more motivated, stop procrastinating. It's going to go into a whole umbrella of everything. Yeah, just if you have a lot of downtime, instead of spending 15 hours on Instagram, whatever, make that 15 hours work for you, like what you want to do, like what you want to do. Like my main thing is kind of like impacting people. Mm-hmm. And for the longest, I've always tried to find a job where I can like impact, but I realize that it doesn't matter what my title is, my job, there's always going to be someone that's going to put a roof on that. So kind of like doing something that makes me uncomfortable always helps with growth as well. So I think if you continue to be intentional with your time and uncomfortable at the same time, you're always going to have exponential growth.
Don't be complacent.
Yeah, if you stay comfortable because you love like your job or your people or your friends.
The
You're gonna do
wise
that
man
for,
speaks. The
yeah,
wise man
yeah.
speaks.
You're gonna be in that same spot forever. You have to take that jump. And I think with me, I was super scared of everyone seeing what I'm doing, what I have. I was scared of being judged. I was scared of comments, and overall, I'm in an uncomfortable space still because I'm uncomfortable with the camera, and there's still like things I haven't perfected yet. But that's gotten me this far, and I just kind of like look to continue to kind of impact people and like reach out anytime like anyone reaches out to me and like, hey, I love your content. I always ask like, what don't you like, or what would you like to see different? Like, why do you like my content so much
Always
to
to
kind of
take
get that
criticism
grasp?
and try to change.
Yeah, I want to make sure that if I'm gonna make this impact, that Lord factors like Matias was able to change me here, or like lower my depression, or get me out of depression, or whatever the case. That I think that's more gratifying than
A
anything.
change
Like
in movement.
any
definitely
money that I
shown
can
that,
get.
you know, you're working on yourself. And one thing is that if you yourself aren't good, like, how can you help anybody else? And you definitely have you have a personality
Exactly.
where you like to help people, but you have worked on
Mm,
yourself, and now you're doing things that are helping people out. You know,
yeah,
I
I
definitely
love
think
that.
that's even more,
Hmm.
you know, impactful to most people. You know what I mean? Especially
Yeah,
the people who are trying to build themselves up and, you
yeah,
know, who go through things that, you know, knock them off the rock and they're trying to go back up top. You know what I mean? So
exactly. Yeah,
I
I
definitely
mean,
think that that's good.
you can still live a good lifestyle, not be a rapper or do drugs and do this and do that.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to have that. I mean, a lot of hard work and dedication is going to get you wherever you want to go, but you got to put the work in. If you don't put the work in,
Yes.
nothing's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yes. Well,
No,
man, I thank you so much for coming on. Guys,
of
we're going to play one
course.
of his videos after all of this so you can see too, and we're going to drop a link.
Not so
Thank
interesting
you.
podcast. Thank
Not so
y'all for
interesting
joining me.
podcast. Thank you,
Pleasure,
Matthias.
pleasure.